So for this one-shot deal that I've done for the Spotlight of the Reviewing Station, I have chose out of the G.I. Joe Classified series to review their Scarlett figure. Reason being is because she is Pat 1 per case and I only saw one. So it was a window of opportunity here that I wasn't going to miss out on. Now, a one-shot deal means that I'm not so sure if I'm going to be picking up this line because, to tell you guys the truth, I know not much about G.I. Joe. I know what it is, I know how long this existed, but it never really was a part of my childhood. I started collecting G.I. Joe when The Rise of Cobra came out. I got into that line, and I almost had every single figure that Hasbro released, except for the fact that I was desperate for money, so I had to sell them off on eBay for dirt cheap. Womp, womp, womp. Anyway, here's a second window of opportunity here, but depending on how well this video is received, we'll all tell whether or not I'm going to go all in on this line or whether or not it stops from here. So if this is the only figure that I review on this channel here, worth it. That's it. Anyway, reason why? I'll explain in just a bit. That could spoil the entire video. Let's just get to it, shall we? Let's go ahead and remove the figure here and take a look at the packaging as partake of every single video review, blah, 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 up close in your face. Right. So here's the front of the packaging. There really isn't that much to explain here. I don't want to go all into detail about it only because this is gonna be long enough as it is. It's not even a transformer. It doesn't transform. There's no steps involved. So why this video takes forever is because I talk too much. So let's try and shorten it as much as we can. So yeah, there's the character, there's the name of the series, there's Hasbro, warning, choking hazard, ages 4 and plus. Here's some information regarding some traits about this character. Let's say sword key, maybe locksmith or something, I don't know. There's arrows, she comes with a crossbow, so she's an archer. There's somebody doing a high kick, so martial arts expert, and this information is probably just something that's classified by the government because it's an envelope that's crossed out with what you would see on the iconic Ghostbusters logo. So yeah, this is the classified series after all. Number 5 of the series, G.I. Joe. On this side of the packaging, Scarlett running into combat with that new suit of armor, which the figure is based off of. There's her crossbow. More details on that later. Here she is doing some karate movement. Like I said, karate. She's taking some cues on John Rambo here, probably hiding out in the woods because she's got this cloak on and some face paint. She's probably waiting to strike some Cobra troopers, slit them in the throat or something. I don't know. There's been some dark G.I. Joe cartoons in the past, so I'm sure it's something that she would do. Anyway, there she is parachuting to the ground, and she's about to kick a Cobra trooper in the face. Up close in your face, dummy. Right, that's it. On the side of this packaging, which is the back, we have a lovely artwork of all these G.I. Joe characters, which I only know so much. That's Snake Eyes, that's Duke. That's Scarlett, who we're reviewing today. That's Roadblock. And that, I forgot. Let me take a wild guess. Shipwreck. Let's say Shipwreck. Anyway. Deathstroke. Baroness. Of course, everybody knows Baroness. The lovely Baroness. Look at that. And then, of course, Cobra Commander himself. Nice helmet. Great visor piece to block his face so the world can't see him for who he truly is. And then we got, I'm guessing, some Cobra Vipers or something. I have no idea. Right. Here's some vehicles that you may recognize if you grew up in the 80s and you were a big G.I. Joe fan. And then here's some tanks that's rolling into combat. Yo, Joe. There's our sad onion face. That's it for the packaging. We'll put it aside now and we will take a look at Scarlett and all of this action figure's glory, which by glory I mean a lot, because this figure really does house a lot. Maybe not in accessories, because she only comes with like 3 knives. 2 you can only put on the figure here for storage, 1 in her hand, 1 in this pouch here on her strap, which does look a little big, but I get it. It's something that can be removed and put in the figure's hand, so of course it's gonna make no sense here. Went against my word. It does make sense only because it has to be so big to fit in here and be fit in the figure's hands here, okay? Logic. If this was something that was not going to be removed, I'm sure this would have been a smaller piece here. But as it is, yeah, it looks kind of silly for how big it is, but you gotta understand, this is reality we're talking about here for a figure that it's this small, okay? It is what it is, so deal with it. She also has this knife here, which is the exact same one that is in her left hand at the moment. There's no difference in detail here, so I'll just show it off as best as I can. Got a blade with some nice teeth markings here, kind of John Rambo style. Oh, here we go again. And then we've got this curve for the handle. There's the hilt itself. It looks like a button where you could probably fold down this knife. I don't know, okay? I don't. But oh well, it looks good. Even if it's not painted. Her accessories are not painted at all. Look at her crossbow. Nice detail. Looks great. And this does come in 2 pieces here. So this top piece here can actually be removed if you want. But there's a peg right there and a hole right there where you can peg that back into place. There's also a little peg right there that you can push down in a little hole in the back. And there you go. Double support. It's not going anywhere. Spoke too soon apparently. Yep, eat my own words. Let's go ahead and put that back on. Try that again. Alright, so there we go. And she does have some arrows that's sculpted back here on this quiver, which cannot be removed, but it's a nice attention to detail. At least they're trying here. There's a slot right here on the inside. You could probably put something small in there. I tried putting the knife, and it didn't look good. I mean, it is something you can do, but it just doesn't look good. So I have no idea where to put this knife. I guess you could probably just, you know, put it around her belt in the back, and that kind of works. But I'm sure it's going to slide out, because I'm telling you guys right now, the annoying piece about this figure is the fact that her belt is not glued in place on her pants. They just, well, it just keeps moving all around. It's so floppy, so loose. It's very annoying when you go about messing with this figure. Because every time I pose this figure in one position, I always have to rearrange this to make it look natural. And it just keeps budging all around. It's just, oh well, it is what it is. That's the only real nitpick I got about this figure, minus that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. You do. You do. I don't. I don't. I have no problem with this knife. No problem. It's big, but I got no problem with it. You do. You do. Stop complaining. Stop. Stop. Other details on this figure we're going to talk about. Her shoulder armor here does get in the way of the articulation. More details on the articulation in just a bit, but yeah, that's about as much as you're really going to get out of this arm here. You can't even get a complete 90 degrees, but oh well, it is what it is. That's good enough. It's not bad. Let's take a look at her face here. Some nice work. Nice face printing tech going on there, Hasbro, for a character that doesn't even really exist. I mean, this isn't somebody you would see on TV. This is from a comic book or something, but they made it look very convincing like this is a real person. Look at that paint job. Or print job. It just, wow, that's good. Her eyes are nicely painted forward. Nice baby blues. We got some freckles here that's actually in the print job as well. All around really good. Her lips are painted in the proper place. Not too dark, not too bright. Looks good. All look good. That looked good. That looked good. Very good. And then of course she's got her iconic orange hair, which even Becky Lynch would be very embarrassed, or not embarrassed, but jealous is what I meant to say. Hey, a WWE reference, even though I don't watch that god-awful stuff. Anyway, there goes some supporters. I'm sorry. Come back. Come back. Come back. Get over here. Get over here. Don't leave me. I'm a small channel as it is. Give me a chance. Yes, I'm unprofessional, but I do what I can. Anyway, back to her armor here. Nice gauntlets. She's got like shurikens or something here attached to this gauntlet that are painted in silver. They even went to the liberty of painting her glove pieces, which is incredible. You don't see this kind of work on the Lightning Collection, and that's very sad. I mean, look at that. They even went to painting her knuckle pieces. Look at that. What? wow. Just wow. Yeah, that belt. Anyway, we got some maroon red here. That's going down her pants, which are covered up down here by her lovely modern boots here with some nice armor pieces for the shin guard. Even all around, look, some highlights of blue for some reason, and even right here. It doesn't have to be there, but it's a nice attention to detail. That maroon red continues here, even down here at the heels of her shoes. Looks good. And then that gold paint looks good, very good. And then there's some like blandish yellow here that's not vibrant at all. That's also got a mix of some gold trimming here, and that also includes on the gauntlets as well, as you can see, even on the glove piece there. What? Anyway, it's a nice touch. It really is. It's something that you would not come to expect when it comes to Hasbro or a $20 priced action figure. You expect the lack of paint work here, but no, this figure makes up for that lack of accessories. She's got everything that you would come to expect in the form of her paint work, not accessories. That's cool. That is so cool. Anyway, let's go about the articulation real quickly, because this is what really makes this figure pop. It's unbelievable what they did here. So we got a ball joint at the head that does allow a lot of attitude movement, which is great. She has a hinge joint at the neck for up and down movement, which is kind of restricted by her ponytail there, but what do you expect? Anyway, we do have some inward and outward movement at the universal shoulder joints. This one, again, blocked. This one will go all the way up if you want. Full 360 rotation, swivel cut above the elbow section. The elbow is single jointed, which is a bit of a crying shame here, but what are you going to do? Get used to it. Anyway, at least it does get 9 degrees of bend. We have a rotation at the wrist. We have hinge joint for inward and outward movement on this hand. This hand, due to the trigger finger, does have the up and down movement instead, which allows the crossbow to be placed in a more natural position when being fired. Right. Anyway, there's something I forgot, which I'll go back. We do have butterfly joints, which is, yeah, it's okay. I mean, this one is kind of tight. This one actually works a lot better. This one works so much better. So yeah, it does work when it works. We have a ball joint at the upper torso here, which does allow a lot of flex for this girl. Really good. We have an additional ball joint down here at the waist section that allows more flex. She's very flexible. This works better than an ab crunch, which would have that cut right around here. That little panel that would make it disgusting looking. But that doesn't break up the sculpt at all, and it works just as good, if not better. She also has swivel for both the torso and the waist section, all because this being a ball joint. A ball joint. But that's not what really impresses me. This is. So her articulation at the hips is on a ball joint, so you get your up, you get your back, you get your non-full JCVD split only because of the execution of it. Oh well, it is what it is. But if you notice something, this is on par with SH Figure Arts because she has a hinge joint at the ball joints to allow her legs to go down more, so she can get more clearance to do super high kick party! Right. And then we got a thigh swivel cut. Double jointed knees, that does get more 9 degrees of bend. She has a swivel cut at the top of her boot section. She has a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which is tight on this figure. And then she's got the lovely ankle rocker pivot. Loads of articulation, loads of play. And yes, her accessory did come apart when I was going about the articulation. So I'll just leave it be because it won't stay in place. Let's finish this up with some size comparisons because we do have some figures here that I can show off, like Trini from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers side of the Lightning Collection. Here's Ray Stantz from the Ghostbusters Plasma series, which I have yet to review and I may not. And here's Just Because, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars The Black Series, the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. And there you go. And that's pretty much going to cover that size comparison. So she's about fair when it comes to other figures to scale in this line. Unless it's Transformers, which wouldn't make any sense. Anyway, I like this figure. She's incredible. She's got loads of articulation, which is beyond expectations. Especially if you collect the Lightning Collection, it's way better than that. I don't know where this goes. I'm still looking for a place, but for now I can put it in that loose belt and try to keep it in place. But that's the only real nitpick. It's just that belt. That belt is the one thing. Everything else about this figure is so cool. It's so amazing. For a new take on G.I. Joe here, I am quite blown away. And I'm not even a G.I. Joe fan, and I really like this figure so much that I want to continue buying these figures, even if I have to pick my battles at the moment because money is tight. But as it is, I mean, if the viewership is there, if this is what you guys want, I have no problem with it. It's just going to take some time. But we'll see how that plays out. In my opinion, this is probably the best figure to come out of Wave 1. She's got loads of articulation that I was not expecting. If she had double jointed elbows, wow. This would probably be the perfect figure to come out of all the female action figures that I own from various lines. But with that said, if you see her in stores, pick her up. She's one per case, like I said. You may not get another chance for a while. Anyway, questions, comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, this is Red's Power signing off saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.